first video in 3 years! Woo! But before I make this move, I feel like I need to talk to you guys for a second. You know, I feel like it would be a little bit rude for me to show up after all this time, no videos, for all 5 of you still care and pretend nothing's happened, and you haven't heard my voice in a very long time. So I feel like I have a bit of explaining to do. So let's flash back to before I left. So let me set the stage. It was May 2022, I was in year 11, 15 years old, and my number one priority above all else in life was making Minecraft videos. But this video wasn't just like any other the 30 or so I had made before it. This one was special because I had a time limit. Because for those of you who don't know, in your summer term in year 11, that's when you have your GCSEs, which is like the super duper important exams at the end of the year that dictate, or they say it dictates your entire future, but it's not like I cared. That's honestly like the best part of being a teenager, honestly, is the fact that you could be so criminally irresponsible and get away with it. The teachers would be saying all this stuff like, don't look at your phones, you're gonna have to disconnect from the internet, don't even make eye contact with anything for the next 2 months. In fact, shackle yourself to your desk and don't go and leave for food and water until you finish your damn math questions. But to be honest, I couldn't even pretend to care a little bit about what they were saying. And I think a testament to that is that, you know that Minecraft video I was just talking about? I literally uploaded it, no joke, the night before the exams. And I say exams plural because the next day I had 2 exams, morning and afternoon, and I still made my priority uploading that video. Hey, the exams went well, so who's to say I'm wrong for that? Who's to say I'm wrong for that? That mindset, in fact that grind set, honestly, I ascended that day. I was not a mere mortal anymore. I was an academic god above everybody else. Even in exams after that, I would destroy I would do well in every. But anyways, I wasn't able to upload for about 2 months because I had to be revising, being a good boy, good student, model student. Then over the 2 months, I had an idea. While I was procrastinating, I saw a lot of these GCSE A-level experience videos. And honestly, I just thought they were a bit, I don't know, it just felt so picture perfect and so clean and sophisticated and healthy and organized, which is all good, and I'm glad their experience was like that. But to me, it just felt like something was missing. It just didn't capture the emotional roller coaster that GCSEs can be. Maybe I'm just projecting my mental derangement onto everyone else, and that's what made me feel that way, but listen. So with all that in mind, I decided I would take it upon myself to be a voice for the people and to make my own massive GCSE experience that would summarize everything, the good, bad, and the ugly, and it would come out in time for the summer. And it's never happened. I don't know why. I just couldn't bring myself to make the video. Like, I'd spend time thinking about it non-stop throughout the summer, but I could never actually make the move to start working on the video beyond just random thoughts, random video files here and there. And fast forward again, now I'm in 6th form, and I'm stuck with this same exact thought process for 3 years. 3 years of this. It's weird because I knew I wanted to make a video more than anything. Not even GCSE related, it was just something, anything. But I just couldn't bring myself to make them, and this feeling just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And it's the most confusing thing because you'd assume maybe at this stage I've been doing YouTube for a while and I maybe grew out of it and wanted to do other things, and that the YouTuber thoughts would just fade with time. But they didn't. They lingered literally every single day for 3 years. I'd see something like a new game or a dumb tweet or something, I'd be like, oh, I could make a video out of this. Maybe there was some new trend that I thought was stupid and I'd be like, oh, I could make a video out of this. And then it wouldn't happen. Like, you think I'm exaggerating, but I feel like I have at least a terabyte of just recordings, on top of recordings, hogging up the majority of my hard drive space that I refuse to delete because I had all these good ideas like, well, I'm not gonna name, I don't need you nerds to be yoinking my God-given ideas, but yeah, perfectly good ideas, just dead, over and over and over again. And it just seemed like it was gonna keep happening over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Now here we are. Almost May 2025. I'm an adult now, unfortunately, in university, and I'm now 3 years into this hamster wheel of concepts, to ideas, to visuals, to the incinerator, over and over, and it doesn't seem to have any end in sight. Even with this video, I've envisioned it so many different ways over the years, and all these different settings and explanations and theories and cosmological explanations as to why I left, and why I haven't been able to make videos. Something was just off, and I couldn't fully explain why. So let me explain why, or try to at least. Maybe it'll help you, I don't know. Also, I would like to add, I'm not a licensed therapist or chiropractor or like mental health expert or whatever. Please don't take this as like definitive end-all be-all advice. Just think of this as me like thinking out loud. I'm not your savior, just a guy with a mic, okay? Not your therapist. So without further ado, let's begin with Bring 1. I started to lose interest because I had no clue what to make. For context, I used to make exclusively Minecraft videos, for the most part, or the bare minimum your run-of-the-mill gaming commentary videos, or just anything gaming related that came to my head. I used to do skits as well, but I enlisted them because watching them back now that I'm decently older, it triggers almost like an allergic reaction in my skin that physically keeps me from watching them or acknowledging their existence in any way. And even though my oldest videos that are public span back around 4 years, I've actually been making videos on a basis since 2017. You obviously can't see them because... But yeah, so I've been doing this style of video for a while, just gaming and skits and gaming and skits and gaming and skits, and I never really tried to branch out of that formula. I did make a commentary video the one time on the whole jelly bean drama from around 3 years ago, which wasn't scripted at all. It was literally just me sat in my chair with a blue Yeti in my hand, just rambling off the top of my head, not even speaking with full confidence. I was doing like mumble speak because my mom was in the next room on her phone, and I was too nervous about her hearing me. I didn't want her to hear me talking about dumb stuff, so I was just like, which I mean, it was alright, I guess, but it couldn't have killed me to just do another take, you know? Just one more take, maybe scripts, maybe writing a few notes down would have been helpful. But as time went on, my interest in making those kinds of videos gone. The process was getting very, very repetitive. Literally just record gameplay, throw it in Vegas, cut the fluff, add funny, in massive air quotes, edits, and rinse and repeat. Live commentary also started to get a bit harder for me to do over time because I was just constantly thinking about, is this funny enough? Am I being entertaining? Is this going to be good in editing? Like, I don't think I can truly capture just how awkward it is telling a good joke, or at least what I'd consider to be a good joke at the time, and just sitting there with all this dead air, 1,000-mile stare, blank face staring at the computer screen. It's like being a terrible stand-up comedian, but with schizophrenia or something. On top of that, I also reached a point where Minecraft specifically was just not fun to make videos on. Or at least any that I was interested in, so I wanted to make other things instead. After making them for 4 to 5 years on and off, I just got bored.
Mr. XD, the GCSE video you described earlier doesn't sound anything like what you're describing here. So why did you stop?
Thing 2. Perfectionism. After I finished my GCSE exams and I was pondering about the GCSE experience videos, I started to really doubt my video making skills. Not like I really had any to begin with, but... Shut up. I started comparing myself to the top dogs, you know, the people who I watched who had a lot of subscribers, lots of views when it came to any video, and I felt like if I wanted to be worth watching, I'd have to match them, which is a good mindset to have, right? Like, if you want to be among the best, you have to match the best. Everyone started somewhere in their own conquest to make quality YouTube videos, but the thing is, what is a quality YouTube video? Is it the editing? The personality? How many stock transitions and sound effects can I throw in a video before it's considered good quality? What? In fact, let me ask you a question. Very simple question. What would you consider the golden era of YouTube? Between what years would you say YouTube was at its best? I'll give you 5 seconds to answer that. Time's up. The answer is... not now. Anytime but right now. If you say it right now, you need to be weeded out through like natural selection or something for having such a horrible take. But yeah, I'm assuming most of you guys said somewhere in the 2010s, maybe even the 2000s. But how does that work? I mean, every big channel now has a million editors who can do all these flashy, high production value edits and such with professional grade cameras and camera people. Every channel's pretty much Marvel Studios nowadays compared to back then when everything was kind of cheap and amateur at best, where everyone was recording with like their flip camera, their iPhone and a few friends. I mean, of course there are exceptions, but shh. But is it actually better? I mean, if you're looking at it on like an objective quality level, then yeah, I guess YouTube's better now. I think it's been a noticeable trend amongst those of us who are not infants that YouTube just doesn't seem to have the same spark that it did all those years ago. Almost like the content, even though it's getting better, is getting worse. The most common complaint that I see, and I agree with, is that the soul of content nowadays is being sacrificed for this polished, almost TV show-like aesthetic, with more of a focus on production value and all these techniques like viewer engagement and audience retention, optimizing rather than actual entertainment. Which is ironic because the whole appeal of YouTube, at least for me, was that it wasn't like what you saw on TV. It was amateur, it was weird, it was different, and most of it wouldn't really make any sense to anyone who did grow up on TV. But most importantly, people weren't as focused on objective quality because personality and soul and all that deep philosophical stuff was what mattered most. People were making videos with their phones and their circle of friends, and whatever editing software they could get their hands on, they just had fun with it, making things for themselves and finding an audience that loved their content. What's that one quote? Comparison is the thief of joy. Modern day YouTube is all about comparing to each other and using whatever methods that somebody else used to get successful to try and mimic the same success, which leaves everything feeling formulaic and stale, especially when everyone and their granddad had a slop channel. To be fair, old YouTube did used to do this too, to an extent. But hey, at least those who shined above the rest really didn't. And thus, I fell into the trap of constantly comparing myself and my abilities and my videos to everyone else, to a point where I started to get self-conscious of my own ability to make videos. That led to me overthinking every little aspect of every YouTube-related thought until I basically psyched myself out of making anything by convincing myself it probably wouldn't be any good before anything even got actualized. Before I even made a script or made a video editing file, I just have an idea and be like, yep, this is terrible. Be like, yeah, this is terrible. Kill it. Put it down. And I was trying too hard to make the perfect YouTube video when there's no such thing. And constantly comparing yourself to other people is a quick way to suck all the fun out of anything you're doing. If the only time you can feel good about something you do is based entirely on what other people think about it, then you're not going to enjoy anything you're doing. People's opinions on any medium or activity or style within said activity will always vary. That's what makes us unique after all, but it's your responsibility to find what works for you and to do it how you want it, not just for the validation of others. Let the validation come find you. Don't go seeking for it. When you think about the greatest creatives of our time, like the Da Vinci's or what does it know? Who remembers Da Vinci? Like Kanye or something, right? Like, it's always the weirdo. It's not the normal people who do the stuff that fits in, that stand the test of time. It's the weird ones who are willing to push their genre or their style or their ideas to that absolute limit, to a point where everybody started to see their vision. He stuck to his own vision and made everyone else understand it when no one else did. The ones who see differently from the norm are the ones that stand the test of time. If you're struggling to find your vision and you need a little break from the fatigue of doing so, as I very clearly did, that's perfectly fine. But just don't forget to bring 3, try again. Like, actually try again. Now let's flash back to about 3 weeks ago. I just finished the second term of uni of my first year, and I was getting ready to go home. I call a taxi and arrive some amount of time later, and I kiss my dorm goodbye and head to the taxi. I don't know if it'd be wise to say the guy's name, so I'm just gonna call him Bartholomew. You know when you call a taxi or an Uber driver and they finally show up, and as you're getting in, there's those first 20 or so seconds where you have to make the conscious decision to either conversate with them the whole way of the journey, or if you just zone out and do your own thing and basically don't acknowledge each other for the whole ride. Well, for me, I didn't even have to make that choice because Bartholomew was chatty. This man was chatty. And honestly, thank God he was, because I did not have the social stat to be the social maxing the way he was. Anyway, so he tells me some stuff about himself. I don't remember how old he was. I think he said he was about 60. He had white hair and wrinkles and sandy looking skin that you could like snowboard on. He was telling me about these businesses he owned, how they were all successful, and he had these houses and all this money. He even showed me a picture of him with Donald Trump while he was driving, by the way. He's literally swiping on his camera roll to find the picture of him and Donald Trump while we were driving on a very populated day where everyone's trying to get to the train station. But who am I to question excellence? I don't know if he was a Trump supporter or not. He did go on that point for a good minute, but let's not get sidetracked. He was telling me about how he knew this woman, how he was doing business stuff with at some point, but he was also doing his own business stuff. She was planning to like start some business stuff specific, I know, get it off the ground and such. But she kept changing and revamping her plan because she wasn't sure about it. Then more time had passed, changed and revamped her plan again and again and again, over and over, changing and revamping just because she wasn't sure about it, scrapping it because she wasn't sure about it, and she never actually made the business. Wait a minute. Meanwhile, my boy Bartholomew over here did his business plan and made a bunch of money off of it, and he pretty much just won life, honestly. Until he didn't win life. Of course it didn't end well for him. Why else do you think he was a taxi driver? Some things went wrong for him and he ended up having to sell his fancy house, which we actually ended up driving by during our journey, and this man was giving his old house the 1,000-yard stare. He was completely composed, but I could tell there was a longing feeling of pain and anger behind his eyes. I'll probably end up passing it again when I go back my next time, and it'll be surrounded by police tape with a detective and everything investigating a suspicious murder. Nobody will know who did it, but I will. Vividly. But he started another business with the hopes of recovering and hopefully undoing all the hell he just went through. Also with the hopes of one day maybe getting the house back, even though it'd be unlikely. And you want me to be honest? I think the universe sent Bartholomew as like my guardian angel. Tell me to wake up. The universe's way of telling me the most important advice of all. Trying again. Listen, this man effectively lost his most prized possession and everything. And instead of just quitting, he just started another business and tried again. And I respect that, honestly, because normally the older you get, failure only starts to feel scarier and scarier. But please, for the love of God, do not let your ideas die because you're too scared to fail. Now this next point, I'm completely stealing this from an mmmmmmm video. I really like it. You should go watch it after this. But he says,
adult, though far more cognizant of social perception, this newfound concern over how we appear to others contributes to possibly the biggest obstacle to creativity, fear. Specifically, the fear of failure. When we enter adulthood, there's an expectation that we should be at least competent at what we do. It's often shameful to show a lack of aptitude in any given skill. Failure causes us to get ridiculed by our peers and punished by our employers. Many adults have been conditioned into the mindset that failure is not an option, to such an extent that they try to eliminate the risk of failure in even the most minor circumstances.
We become so conditioned into this idea of productivity and spending our time meaningfully. Because why? Because, hey, as an adult with limited time and bills to pay, why would you spend so much time doing something you're not good at? By this stage, most people have figured out their pastimes more or less and thus have already developed skills to be good at them. But at the same time, will completely neglect to try something new out of fear of that failure, or to save face by not embarrassing themselves. But who cares? It's awkward at worst, and then you move on with your life. It's not like if I'm learning to play guitar or something, then some people are there for some reason, like a summoning circle kind of thing. If I play a wrong note, then the guitar detonates or something. No! You just learn from the mistake, laugh it off, and go again. Those types of people that laugh at you for stepping outside your comfort zone, forget them. Their life is nothing. They serve zero purpose. You should kill yourself. You should kill your self-destructive mindset and be willing to adventure outside the box. Don't just stick to what you're good at. Be willing to try new things. Like, here's an example. Think of your favorite movie and your favorite food and your favorite activity. On the count of 3, say it out loud. And with this advanced YouTube technology I just got access to, I'll respond uniquely to what you say. 1, 2, I don't care. Now with that, think about it like this. There's a period of time where that thing was completely new to you. You had no idea what it was or what it truly had to offer, but you went for it anyways, and then your soul ascended to the next plane of existence. So try new things, and try again. Also, don't be that guy who doesn't try things because you think it makes you look hard, okay?
Trying things. Suck a dick. Nobody gives a fuck about what you do. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm trying things. You tried it too. You know, how you gonna knock somebody in the world for actually trying to do something? Trying. Since when has it become not cool to try? Fucking loser. Matter of fact, suck another dick.
Alright, the thing is, I've been conceptualizing this video for like the past 3 or so years, but to summarize everything, I'd say 1. Reevaluate what you're doing and how it makes you feel. Be willing to expand into a different area. 2. Avoid needless comparisons and perfectionism and focus on your own personal enjoyment above all else. And 3. Try again. And if it really isn't working for you, try something else. Now that I'm at the later stage of this script, finishing the writing and such, even though I talked all that pseudo-intellectual BS earlier, guys, I'm still not sure if this is any good, or if trying this whole YouTube again is truly a good idea. The self-doubts and such aren't really completely gone, but at least I've managed to shut them up to finally make a YouTube video after all this time. To be completely honest, it's still a bit daunting. The road to YouTube success, or just any kind of online success that involves this e-fame thing, is paved in the suffering bodies of those before me, pretty much just telling me to go back and to live a normal life, because this could ruin my life as I know it. Hopefully I don't make it, I could make it into like a Sunny V2 video where I'm accused of doing some heinous, horrific activities. Hopefully not. Maybe I die, maybe I get assassinated by YouTube HQ because I'm just that good. I could go down the Kanye route maybe. Honestly, my marker for success is like Kanye's level of success. Not in terms of numbers, but just the fact that he could be spewing all that, just that nonsense. And there will always be like that, those like few thousands of people will be like, base? And he's speaking the truth, you just don't understand him. Like, you know, like the D1, uncontested, 100-0, 20 years running, never leaving your side meat riders that are there for you, no matter what. You could be, and I think looking at Kanye's Twitter replies, if anything, just solidifies that if you're just really, really good at what you do, bro, you could be, like, I'm pretty sure Kanye could admit to, like, terrorism tomorrow, and there'd still be, like, a subsection of people who'd be like, but he made graduation! But I'm getting sidetracked. This video, I don't know how long this video is gonna be. Hopefully this one actually makes it to YouTube this time around. And this isn't just limited to a me thing. This could be limited to any form of passion or field that involves some kind of risk, because there's always a risk involved in putting yourself out there in any field. So I wish you all luck out there. And if you're still doubting me, honestly, I don't blame you. It's not like I read anything, really. Like, I don't have any sources. What, you marking my uni essays? But I'll leave you with this. If you're still doubting yourself, and you have an idea of what you want to pursue, and you're still uncertain, just go for it. What's the worst that could happen? Because you know what? It could be the best decision of your life. But you don't know until you make the next move.
I don't know how to end that. I know, that sounded corny. I know. I couldn't think of another outro. Alright, flash forward. It is now the 31st of August, 2025. I'm now 19 years old, and I'm going to start my second year of university in about a month. This video had no business taking as long as it did. Like, I conceptualized this specific version for when I return back to uni, for like the summer term, before then. Then I wanted to get it done before the end of May, then I wanted to get it done before the end of June, then I wanted to get it done before the end of July, and yeah. By the end of the day, I'm still glad that I saw it through the whole way. I'm still glad that I saw through the whole video. Extra emphasis on that I'm not a messiah. I'm just an imbecile, dumb, doo-doo head with a blue yeti. I'm at that stage of life, you know, where I have to start, like, actually thinking ahead for once rather than thinking in the moment. And I think especially this summer, those moments of, like, momentary, like, kind of stress of, like, oh no, what do? I need to progress my life. I need to, like, do things, accomplish things. Oh my goodness, I'm running out of time. And I was like, I'm only 19 years old, which, in the grand scheme of things, is not that old. But I just wanted to, like, I felt like I could be doing so much more now that I'm, like, an adult. And I think, especially looking around my room, when I look around my room, I see all these different things, especially now being in my room back at home. I'm looking around my room and I see all these different items from different stages of my life, all telling these different stories of this boy who wanted to do pretty much everything and anything he wanted, and was putting effort into doing all of that. And that was really cool. And I'd like to get back into doing that, because spontaneous creative energy again, for the first time in a good few years, to just make things. I don't know what it would be, I don't know if it would be any good, but I think me making this video is like the first step in me rediscovering that teenage boy, that young teenage boy. I'm gonna blame lockdown. I think lockdown single-handedly, like, put a wrench in my ability to be creative. I don't know what it is, but I feel like everything after lockdown just became, like, 3 times as hard. But I don't know, that's a story for another day. Like, the psychological effects of being in lockdown need to be studied, because I was in lockdown for, like, for like 9 months or something. I don't remember the exact number, but the psychological effects of that should probably be studied or something. They probably already have, but oh well. Yeah, this video is like the first step in me, like rediscovering myself or some other healthy mental health thing like that, and that's really cool. I think that's really cool, and hopefully this isn't the only video that I make on this channel again, because this did take a while. Hopefully next video doesn't take me 4 months to make. One thing I have been neglecting, because it's like I don't want to be all sharing my trifes, is that the word? Trifes with the internet. But I guess looking at who you are outside of the things you're doing, like mentally, very important, because you don't understand how you are mentally, like mental health wise, can really seep into every single aspect of your existence, whether it's like your hobbies, your relationships with other people, your physical health, stuff like that. It can seep into so many aspects of that, and I think after learning that the hard way, I think becoming more mentally healthy and more has really like upped my energy and made me want to make more videos again and do all this other creative stupid stuff on this channel, because it's like I've had this channel since I was like 11 years old. Actually, not even 11, I was like 10. So this is like the longest standing internet account that I still own, I think, or one of them, because the rest before this are pretty much lost to time, forgotten emails, forgotten passwords, and all that. And it's probably the internet account that I save the most, because it's like it reminds me of the era when me and my friends used to make YouTube videos together, and we'd all be chasing the YouTube dream and all, and just that raw creativity, not caring, just making whatever you want to make, and I love that feeling, and I'm kind of missing that feeling, and I missed that feeling very much during these past 3 years, and I'm hoping to start making content regularly. I don't know what on, I don't know how frequently, but new videos at some point. This is like an epilogue for myself, that hopefully in like a year's time I can look back on this exact video and I can be like, yeah, I'm very glad I took this first. I'm glad I made the next move in uploading something to this channel again. But if this, and not just in that, but just in pursuing whatever the hell I want, that's like my ultimate life goal, is just to pursue whatever the hell I want and to do well in it, because I put maximum effort into it and then it goes well for me or something like that. And to make stuff that people really enjoy, entertainment-wise, very fun. I'm just rambling at this stage. I'm tired. This video did not have any business taking this long to make. Look after yourselves. That's the moral of today's story. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully I didn't come off as too much of a pseudo-intellectual in this one. If you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe and comment. Comment your honest opinions. If this was any good, if it was terrible, let me know, because I don't know. I'm kind of just talking to myself in the void that is my room right now, and I have no idea how this is going to translate in the video to the morning. It's almost 2 a.m. I need sleep. I need to play Zelda. I have not really touched. I was given a copy of Zelda Breath of the Wild, because I've never actually played it up to this point, and I have not really touched it, or any video games for that matter, that weren't like Clash Royale, because I've been working on this video. So, yeah, I'm gonna get to that. Look after yourselves, have fun. Try again, make your next moves. Don't be an overly comparative perfectionist guy, like I am. Like, I know I set it up as like an advice thing, but I think as I was scripting and recording and editing this, it kind of became like a, here I was thinking of all these other factors making me not want to upload, but I never would have thought that it was me the whole time! It's the perfect crime, you know? So, yeah. Look after yourselves, guys. And I'll see you next time.
Element of surprise!